Hi, Linda Lang here with Make It Now. I wanted to just give you a demonstration on how to do machine embroidery without a fancy machine. How about that? You can use your domestic sewing machine to make beautiful artwork like this. Isn't that beautiful? This was made on an organza sheet. And what I did here was I put the picture I printed, put it between the organza sheets, and then simply machine embroidered right on top of it. You do need to prepare your hoops though, because I'm using a hoop. Just like you do on machine embroidery on the machine, you got to have some kind of a tension. So what you do is you take some bias tape and you wrap the inner one and glue it in so that your material will not slip inside. I have this size and I have an oval size. So this one worked perfectly for that picture, you see. Okay, so what I did is I just went to the computer and I found a face and I just printed it off. Now this one is more in detail, of course. And you can do a picture like this and just make it solid. This is not going to be solid, as you can see. I'm just going to do this outline effect. All you do is you take your picture, you put it in between the organza. You turn the picture over to pop it in the hoop. Okay, like that. Tighten this up. And there's your picture. You make sure it's all nice and tight. And you know all we do? Zigzag. First of all, I want to say something. Ignore my funky nail polish. I haven't had a chance to change it, okay? All right, let's put that aside. All right, so now all you do is you make sure this is up so that you can get it over the hoop, or if you want to just tip it in like this to get it in there. You've got your system set up. Now here's what I've done is I have lowered my feed dogs. Make sure that they're lowered. I have a button that does that. And I simply put it on a zigzag stitch. See, some of this is narrow in this picture, some of it's thick. But I keep the zigzag at about the same width because I can maneuver it. So let's see how this works. So the first thing you do is you start at a point where you want to start, and you take your needle down into it, bring it back up, and pull this other piece so that the other piece of the bottom thread comes up. That's how you do every machine embroidery to start with on anything you do. Now you'll notice that I do not have a foot on there at all. That's how I learned it, but I've also sewed through my finger. So you have to be very careful when you do this because you can sew through your finger. I'm just going to put my foot, make sure your pressure is down, even though your foot's not there. You need to make sure your pressure is down, otherwise the machine will not sew. So let's see what happens. Okay, so as you'll notice, there's too much bottom coming up. That means I need to adjust my tension on the top. And I'm going to adjust it down a little bit more. That's why it's a good idea to have the bottom thread and the top thread the same. Now you have to be very careful. And that's why you have a hoop, because it keeps everything taut. So you just kind of color. You just kind of color in, make sure. See, you see how the white and the black's coming through is because I have white underneath. That's why it's a good idea to use transparent thread or the same color. Okay, so the second way is you would use tearaway. This is a plasticky tearaway. I think there's paper tearaway these days. This is old. This is 1994. I'm still got the material from that time. I have a piece of cloth. You can use a shirt. You can put it on your clothing, a bag, or whatever. And you tape this to the window, and I just used a felt tip pen, and I drew on it. It doesn't matter which side you draw it on. And then you put it on top of the back of the material, so you put it in the hoop. So I got my face in the hoop, and I'm ready to go. So I changed my bobbin to the same color as the top thread, and let's see what happens. I'm gonna bring that back piece of the bottom thread up, holding on to the top thread to make sure that it pulls all the way to the bottom and up. Okay, see, there we go. We're both together now. Hold these off to the side, and then make sure that your lever is down, even though it doesn't look like it because you have no foot on it. You got to make sure the the feed dogs are also down as well. Make sure it's on a zigzag at whatever length you want. You go slowly because you want to make it like a satin stitch. And I like to go sideways a little bit because then that makes that line thinner. Okay, you will need to go to the next. You make sure you lift up your lever, bring it over, and then make your lever go back down and start in that spot you want to start in. Lift it up, move over to the next section. It's going to zig where it wants to, so make sure you know which way your zigzag is going. Go slow at the very beginning so that you can see which way it's going to go. Just heard the bottom bobbin break. Or it's not there anymore. I need more bobbin. Okay, so this is just an example. I ran out of bobbin, so that's why it stopped. It's probably easier to clip when it's out. I'm going to just finish it like it is. Take off these extra threads. It's easier to take the threads out when it's out of the hoop. Look how pretty that eye is. And what you do now is you simply tear this away. I'm going to take this all apart, and you'll see what I have sewn will remain, because I did not sew the whole thing. Be gentle in tearing it away. You can actually use scissors if you want to, but it tears nicely. Take the eyebrow off. Check this out. And now you've just machine embroidered onto a piece of material using tearaway. It's as simple as that. It just takes practice on using your machine, how to do the zigzag, and that's it. How about that? You can do it. If you have any questions, call me 530-409-6180.